Hey guys, welcome back to the Letterhead Studios and some more Persona 4. We're gonna go out and do some more social linking. Oh, it's Namatame. If you don't need anything, could you please let me be? I want to be by myself. Alright then, I'm gonna talk to this old lady instead. You frightened me there. I thought you were my husband. Watching the river here with you like this brings back memories. Of what? Of when I was still young, before I became this wrinkled old lady. I met my husband here in this town. I was born and raised here, and he was part of a traveling company of actors. They'd come to town once a year. When I was small, my family took me to see the play. That's when I met my husband, who was a child actor. He had clear, pale skin, and he spoke completely differently from the other children. He was my first love. Every year he would come, and every year I would watch. I gathered all the courage I had and talked to him. By some miracle, he fell in love with me too. We would just talk behind the stage. One date every year. I thought he was just flirting with me, but I thought that was okay. But you know what he did? He quit the company and said he would live here and to marry me. He did field work, though he didn't know how. He would come home and show me his blisters. He was so proud. I was happy back then. What about now? Happiness is something you only recognize after it's already happened. Right now, all I want to do is be by his side. But I know I never will. He went to heaven, and I will surely go to hell. That's not true.
Thank you.
You're so kind. I must be going now. It gets cold here down by the river. I'll see you later, Jason-chan.
Goodbye.
I hope you all enjoyed the school trip. Don't you all just feel a bit more mature now that you visited an urban area like that? Oh, by the way, that cute bear that Jason had on the trip. Where'd you get that? I get so tempted by animals with such unique design. Speaking of bears, some species feed on salmon, and speaking of salmon, I have an interesting fact for you. They're actually a white fish. That orangish color actually comes from the pigment of the shellfish. Salmon roe is also affected by the shellfish, hence a salmon's color is affected by its environment. I hope the city brought you ladies that much closer to becoming women. Uh-huh. Alright. Didn't feel like being harassed today, but alright. Let's wrestle, mister! I will destroy you. You-kun, let's go home, okay? I don't want to go home yet. I'm playing with mister.
Huh?
But doesn't that bother him? No. Okay, fine. I'm going home. Oh! She called you out, son! I'm just kidding. Is she mad at me? She's not Just apologize, Yuta. She hates me, but she has to take care of me. I feel sorry for her. She doesn't hate you. Oh, thank you. You walked him here? Maybe I should have you walk him all the way home. He looks so happy when he's at daycare. Today he yelled, "I don't want to go home." Well, obviously not. Even if he goes home, it's just the two of us. He'll forget his father's face at this rate. Poor thing. Wow! I'm glad he's going to daycare center. He looks like he's having a good time. And I have time to myself, too. He seems happy even after he comes home, especially on the days you're there. Of course, since we don't talk, I've never actually heard him say so. Please take care of him.
Yukon, let's go home.
Okay. That happened, I guess.
Good evening, and welcome to Nightline's special Night Watch report. A suspect in the murders in Inaba was safely arrested recently. But what few people know is that the mastermind who brought him to justice was a high school detective. Tonight's report will focus on this Detective Prince, Naoto Shirogane, whose handsome looks are sweeping the nation. Thanks for being on the show.
No. The pleasure is all mine.
Oh, his uniform's the same as yours.
First, congratulations to you and the police for your recent arrest of the culprit. It was well known that there were a lot of mysteries surrounding this case, and you did a great job clearing them up.
I'd hesitate to say that the matter is cleared up as such. It's true that our suspect was behind Mr. Muraoka's unfortunate death. But when I cast my eye over the case as a whole, I detect a few things that seem out of place.
Oh? Like what?
Unfortunately, I cannot divulge details at this time. But this matter claimed the lives of 3 people. Hence, I believe even the smallest inconsistency must be investigated.
I see. I have to say this is a surprise in light of the police's official statement. Now for our next segment, the Detective Prince's true identity, where Naoto-kun tells us a little bit about himself. Amazingly, the Detective Prince has solved a whopping 24 cases. 16 of them were...
There's a detective at your school? When I'm older, I'm gonna go to your school, too. Hi, Senpai.
Yo,
Hey, did you see the show on TV last night? Naoto-kun was on.
that thing about the Detective Prince solving the case? Come on, we're the ones who actually caught the killer.
But the police were the ones who identified the suspect, and he was cooperating with them on it, right? So it's true that he helped solve the case.
I'm kind of surprised, though. I didn't think he was the type to go after the spotlight like that.
Good morning. I've been waiting for you all. There's something I needed to discuss with you regarding the case.
Discuss? Dude, we'll be late if we talk too long. Hey, where's your uniform?
Could you please indulge my current theory on the matter?
What is it?
First, as regards commonalities between the victims, all of them were kidnapped before they were murdered. The victims were all locals who had been the focus of recent media attention, becoming suddenly well-known. That is the most likely scenario. I don't believe there's anything intrinsically unique about the victims themselves. Haven't you all come to the same conclusion?
Yeah, we did.
Then allow me to state my point. Will you admit that a number of you fit these identical circumstances? There was a long interval between the second and third deaths in this case. But after I applied the aforementioned criteria, I discovered several similar disappearances had taken place. Yukiko Amagi, Kanji Tatsumi, Rise Kujikawa. All of you disappeared shortly after being shown on TV. Either you escaped death somehow, or you faked your own disappearances in order to divert attention from yourselves. Since some of you had ties to the victims, there came a point where I suspected one of you must be the culprit.
You thought one of us was the killer? You can't be serious.
This was a prior theory, since discarded. Putting together everything I've learned until this moment, I believe exactly the opposite. You aren't the culprits. You may, in fact, be the only ones with the means to pursue the true perpetrator. Seen as a joining of forces between the rescued, everything falls into place. Of course, this is all speculation. There is in fact a flaw in the theory. It doesn't account for the third incident, Mr. Muraoka's murder. He has never been broadcast on television, and neither did he ever disappear. We must also consider the condition of his corpse. The first two victims are still listed with an unknown cause of death. But Mr. Muraoka died of an easily identifiable blunt force trauma to the occipital cranium. The police have not satisfactorily resolved this discrepancy, yet they are desperate to close the case. Further action will be necessary to obtain some sort of decisive evidence.
Further action? What do you mean?
Well, whatever the outcome, the evidence should come to light. You said something interesting to me not long ago.
Hey, where are you going?
This is not a game for me either.
Naoto-kun? want you to have this. I'm very happy. Thank you.
Hi, how are you? Even on a day like this where there's not that many customers, I gotta spend it standing around. Looking at the town puts me at ease somehow. Maybe it's because I've lived here for so long. Uh-huh, sure. Wow, the town is getting excited. I don't really know much about the Naoto-kun interview, but... well, it's a fact that he helped solve the case, so there's no surprise that he was interviewed for his contribution. And I'd rather have people excited about things like this than all the bad news, you know.